It's Wednesday. It's 9 o'clock. I'm Daz. I guess it's time to run the titles.
You're the joker, the expert, the voice, but you're one of the crowd. A vision of weakness you don't...
Welcome to Loaded Football Weekly. Okay, bit of a change tonight, guys. Both Martin and Chris are out sick. I know. What are the chances? So yeah, instead of cancelling the show, we said the show must go on. So, but instead of me doing this by myself tonight, I thought I'd bring in some reinforcements. So I'd like to bring in first Richy.
Good evening.
A familiar face. Welcome, Richy.
Good evening.
Welcome to Loaded Football.
Cheers, mate. Cheers for having us.
No problem at all. Thanks for joining at short notice.
It's all right.
So yeah, Richy's going to come and join in the segments with myself. But I thought we're going to have two isn't enough here. We're going to need someone else, and also we have a lot of kind of Liverpool content tonight. So I thought I'd reach out to someone connected to Liverpool. So I was on to Carragher, Hansen, Souness, Gerrard. But they all turned me down and pointed to one man. They actually pointed towards Michael Owen, and I said, "No way we have an Owen on this show. Not having that. That's phony pony on." So I said, "My mate Ger knows more than Owen." So here's my mate Ger. Welcome, Ger.
Good evening. Thanks, Daz. Hi,
Welcome to
Richy.
Loaded Football.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys, we're going to get straight into it tonight. And we're going to go for loaded headlines. So yeah, there is a bit of headlines this week, lads. So I'm going to go straight into it, and I'm going to start off with a Liverpool one. You might all know this guy, happy guy most of the time. Yeah, there he is. Counting. I don't know what he's counting. Do you know what he's counting, Ger? I'm sure you might have an idea.
Just about, yeah. I think it will.
Yeah. But here is how he looks now today. Okay, so this is Jurgen Klopp. What's going on with Liverpool? Does this man need a break? There's a lot of rumours. They've lost 3 consecutive Premier League games. For the first time since November 2014. He's also had a death in the family as well, with his mother, and with COVID and everything like that. It cannot make it easy for him. So yeah, also there's talk of him that he was going to resign after the Leicester defeat. And this is the same man. The last year where he won the Premier League, and the year before that he won the Champions League with Liverpool. Liverpool as well are going through a bit of defensive crisis. Signed a few defenders in the January window. Of course, they need time to settle in. The midfielders are kind of moved to the back line as well, covering there, and that's where it's all fallen apart really for Liverpool in the last while. And this player's injured, of course, too. And then there was talk of a fight between Robertson and Alisson as well. I don't know, but hey, things are looking up for them. They won their Champions League game yesterday, and they play Everton at the weekend. Richy, I'm going to go to you first on this one.
Right.
And bypass Ger. What's your thought on Liverpool?
To be fair, I think there was something on Twitter the day before there was that resignation hint where there was a few fans putting Klopp out onside Anfield. I don't know if Gerrard can confirm that, but it was actually I saw it on Twitter, and I think we actually had a chat about it within our WhatsApp chat, and it was, we're meant to be the deluded fans up here. You know what I mean? That they've had a few bad weeks and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, they want Klopp out, and I says, "Well, it's all right. He's just waiting for the Newcastle takeover, isn't he? He wants to go to a proper club." But no, seriously,
stirring the pot there, Richy.
Yeah, it's got to be done, isn't it? I think if you look really, if I was the owners of Liverpool and I was a Liverpool fan myself, I think what you've got to look at is they've depleted injury-wise drastically. They've lost the best player, and I don't know if Gerrard will agree. In my opinion, I think that
definitely
Van Dijk is Liverpool. I think he's literally, he holds the whole team together. You know, you always see the spine of the team. You know, Alisson was reliable. He's what the most expensive goalkeeper. Then you've got Van Dijk in front of him. Then you go to Henderson, and then you've got your front three. You've got that spine all the way through the team, and taking that integral part of that defence out, it's not the same Liverpool. Full stop. You know, I thought they looked really, really good when they had Gomez alongside him. Matip. I'm not a big fan of Matip, if I'm honest. You know, the young lad that just brought in to replace him from Schalke, I know Newcastle interested in him as well, and he looks a really good player. He looked quite decent last night.
He didn't look great at the weekend, though.
No. But I think so. If you look at on that sort of thing, you know, when you start playing like Fabinho and Henderson, that's your centre midfield. That's what controls the game and the tempo of the game. And putting them at the back, there's no pace there, nothing. So personally, for me, I'd be looking at as well. Look, we'll just finish the season as strong as we can. You know, if we can try and hang in those Champions League places and you know, sneak in the back door, then fair enough. The title was long gone. I think that was. To be fair, I actually fancied Man City for the league this year anyway. But as soon as Van Dijk went down, that was it. Season gone. So I'll just let you hold on. That's you know, there's no need to make a change. Regarding the fighting, it's probably frustrating because of the way the results go. But to be fair, if the fighting is between Alisson and Robertson is true, to me as a supporter, I'd like to see the passion in that from my players at Newcastle, which we don't seem to be getting. So it shows that they care. Do you know what I mean? So that's. I think there's nothing wrong with that. If Klopp, there was all this stuff going on with his resigning because you know the results haven't gone well. There's been a death in the family, lost his mother. He's not going to be feeling himself. Do you know what I mean? But the fact is, there's always that saying, isn't it, that your parents or whoever would want you to continue and stuff like that. So he's doing what he can. He might not be feeling 100%, but the man's showing up for work. He's trying to deliver what he believes in. So if that's what he's happy doing, then fair enough. So that's my thoughts anyway.
Cheers,
you can't disagree with that, Richie. It's like I look at Klopp, and the first thing is like the rumors coming out, like was that the odds are being slashed. You know, the bookies, like a few friends sending me the bookies odds, and he's up there with Jose to being the first manager out. Which, if you look at his record, like that smacks that's not right. But also the tweets that were being shared around was that Bex and Robbo got in a fight. Now the thing that got me was, I've never heard Alisson being referred to as Bex. I've always heard him be called Ali. So for me, I smelled a rat straight away. Like, now I do get it. Like, Robbo's a cheeky jappy. Like, he's the type of lad that he's in your face. He's egging you on. He's what you want in the club. Like
Richy, like a Richy.
When Robbo came to the club, the people forget. Like, he was 8 million. He came from a club that had been just relegated. And Klopp didn't play him for the first few games. And then when he started playing, he started getting man of the match. He made himself a Klopp player. You couldn't unplay him. So he is a player you want there. The fact he might get in a fight, I could see him having an argument with Becker, but I just don't see Henderson. Like, Henderson's grown into as being a captain. Like, if you ask any Liverpool fan, they would have said again, Henderson 3-4 years back, he's like trying to be a Gerrard. He's not good enough, but like that, like he's done everything right with the fans. He's basically Klopp's voice on the pitch. If you even hear the one thing about COVID now at the moment is you can hear what the fans are saying. Sorry, you can hear what the manager's saying. You can hear what Henderson, and Henderson's always talking to players around him. But like Richie was saying, like I tried to do a count there in the amount of injuries Klopp has had, and I just looked at like the ones we all know, which is Gomez, Van Dijk, Matip out for a season. You throw in Jota's been out for 3 months. Henderson's had a couple of injuries that have ruled him out for a couple of months. Fabinho's been out for a couple of months. Milner, which is uncharacteristic, has had injuries this season. And granted, the man's 34, gone 35. Then you throw in Thiago with that horror injury at the start of the season. You're missing him for 3 months. Like, before I go into the lesser-known players, your Kaitas, Simikas, Shaqiri, Origi, like, you're talking about 14 players there that, okay, take out the last 3, but you're talking about nearly your first-team squad. And then you throw in the lack of form, like Trent has not been playing well. But back on Richie's point, if you take your 2 best midfielders who have allowed your fullbacks to attack on and then plunk them into your defence, there's going to be an impact to the team. And one thing I like, and I would rarely quote Rio Ferdinand for obvious reasons, but Ferdinand came out today and he said, like if you take 10 players out of that caliber, let alone a Van Dijk, out of any of the other top four sides, like they drop to like a top 10 side straight away. Like going back, and again, Richie's pretty much stole nearly all my thunder in this. Like Van Dijk, for me, like yes, he's you cannot have enough surprises about how good a defender he is. But what you also forget is he allows the team to play up the pitch further, and he can also hit these scorching 60-yard balls across the pitch that opens defences up. Like the man can take free kicks, which he's never taken at Liverpool, but at Celtic he was banging them in. Like for a guy of his size, for a guy of his ability, like he looks like he should be slow. He's got everything in his back pocket. And I think what happened is in the summer, the Yanks made a really bad decision. The board, they had a look at Van Dijk, they look at his injury record, and they said, this guy's not going to get injured. They'd look at Matip and said, look, Matip's always going to get injured. He's barely played 2 games in a row. Gomez always has a month or two, but they could manage that with that young kid Williams. And Reece Williams has been really unfortunate. He's been coming into Liverpool where another time it'd be great. He's going to get 10, 20 games a season, but at the wrong time to be plunked in a defence with very inexperienced deputies. And now I also am a little bit unsure of the signings the club have foisted on Klopp, like Ben Davies at Preston. Now I'm going to give the guy a chance because he hasn't played for us yet, but as soon as he comes in, he gets injured. You're also talking about a Preston player. You go to what Souness said. Liverpool have always been a team that buys from strength. So you bring in your Thiago, you bring in your Van Dijk, you bring in your Becker. Like it brings you up a level. Jota brought us up a level. Will Ben Davies bring us up a level? Jury's out. Kabak had that debut, and it was like first half 45 minutes what you want to see, controlled. Second half, like it'll always go down for that horror collision with Becker, and that for me, I don't hold him responsible for that. That comes down to the keeper coming out and not calling, and a defender not knowing that, not having that partnership built up yet. If you look at them last night, they looked more composed, and even when he got that yellow card, he looked like a stronger player. We've a pundit over here in Ireland, Damien Duff, and he made a very glib comment that
we know about him.
Yeah.
That he turned up for a paycheck in Newcastle for a while.
Great number 7 for Ireland.
He was brilliant. He was. I actually, you brought him up, so now I have to say something about it. This is going to turn into a rant. I apologize. I love Damien Duff for Ireland, and I thought he was brilliant for Blackburn. I thought he was brilliant for Chelsea. He turned up at Newcastle, and it just didn't work. I think he probably lost a yard of pace or something. But
yeah,
he was. I think he scored an own goal the last game of the season as well, didn't he? It probably wasn't his fault really, but we got kind of relegated.
Combination of kind of the symbolic.
Don't go there, Damien Duff, Ger.
Yeah.
We're nearly out of time. We have to move on.
In short, no, keep Klopp. Like the man, like he's only got 2 years in his contract as well. You got to remember, like he's only signed an extension to 2023. So like Liverpool are blessed to have him for what they have and what he does. So next season, as Richy said, focus on the top 4. They could still win the Champions League, and they could be coming out with a Champions League top 4 position, and they rebuild next season.
Okay, as long as they give a thumbs up to a takeover, I'll be happy with them as well. Grant, we'll move on. I'm going to go next to Diet Upamecano. Upamecano? Yeah, I can't pronounce his name. Sure, I tried.
Upamecano. Think Upamecano.
Okay. My only interaction with this player is I bought him in Football Manager a few times. I've actually never seen him play, and I know he played last night against Liverpool. But yeah, the reason why we have him on tonight is because he's now sold to Bayern, and his release clause has been met. He's going for €42.5 million. He's a centre back. He's 22 years old. There's a few clubs looking at him, including Liverpool and Man United. Yep. He recently made his debut for France. Bayern keep doing this kind of taking their main domestic rivals' key players. Habit of doing that. He came through the whole, I suppose, the Red Bull connection here. He came through Austria FC Salzburg to Leipzig. He's fast, agile, and quick on the turn. Even though I've never seen him play, and can bring the ball out of defence. We'll be very quick on this, lads, because we're probably already out of time. Thanks to the Liverpool chat and the Damien Duff one. So, what do you think?
He's a top player. I seen him last night. Now, last night wasn't a fair reflection. I got the sense, and he wasn't on his best game. He looks slow. He looks sluggish, which is something I haven't seen him, and I've seen him play before. I definitely think like the move is fully in his mind. He's going to be a great player for Bayern. He's going to be like, he's only 22 and a centre half. Like, he's going to be a great captain for France at some stage.
Yeah, I actually watched a bit of the Bundesliga last year when we had Project Restart was delayed for us, and I watched him a few times, and I think he's a very, very good centre half. He just looks comfortable on the ball. He's strong in a tackle. Yeah, there was one of the games he got 2 bookings, and it was literally it was a bit like Jeff Hendricks the other week does, just 2 daft bookings. But a 22-year-old, you're going to learn from that sort of thing. So,
exactly, yeah.
Obviously, he's already international with France as well. Do you know what I mean? At 22, and France, are usually, they're stocked up in pretty much every single position. If you look all the way around Europe, so he's probably, because of his buyout clause, and when all the takeover for Newcastle's going on, it was someone I thought, I'd go after him. You could start building your defense around him. So,
exactly.
But I think he's a very, very good side in the Bayern, just doing what Man United did in the 90s and noughties. Just picking up all the competition. So,
lads, I just want to shout out to Sam, who's actually joined us. He's in the green room. I can see him. You can't see him yet, but Sam, we'll probably be about 10 minutes. So relax, take your time. We'll fly through these topics and we'll get you on. So cheers for joining everybody. Lads, the last one on the headlines I wanted to bring up very quickly was Thierry Henry. There's talk of him going for an interview for Bournemouth. And just for me, when I think Thierry Henry, brilliant for Arsenal, but always this comes back to my mind. This one. I think, Ger, you will agree with me, and I know Martin will agree with me. It's this one. And so for Thierry Henry, it's what lives in my mind now. This is Thierry Henry. Those hands, that handball incident. That
England have the hand of God, and we've got.
We still cling on to that one. Lads, I'm not even going to ask your opinion on it at the moment. It might never happen. I'm going to move on because we're going to run out of time otherwise. I'm just going to have a quick check on the comments. There's the one from Martin and one on Martin as well. I thought he was sick. Anyway, let's move on. We'll go to, I think we'll have a bit of loaded leaderboard. So this is how the table was looking, lads. I know you've been following very closely this.
Very closely.
This is how the table was looking. Chris was on top. Actually, it was joint top. Martin and Chris were level, and I was a point behind.
And you were last, is what we're saying.
I was. Yeah, we were trying. Yeah, I was last. Yes, Jared. Thanks for that. But I'm not last anymore. Well, I'm still joint last, I suppose, because after the Burnley Fulham game, which ended in a draw, it's now looking like this. Martin is actually taking the lead. Now, there's a game to go. Don't get too excited, Martin. There's a game to go, but and it's still neck and neck. If City were to win tomorrow against Everton, it would be all on 24 points. So that's how close it is. So we're going to run through the fixtures. I'll give you my predictions, and you jump in with your own as well. And I'll give Martin and Chris one day, 24 hours, even though they're sick, to come back with their predictions here, or else they're getting 0 points.
I thought you were going to ask us to do a talk sport one there, Daz, and we were going to have to stand in each of them. What was it? You said you were going to pay us a tenner each to give them the wrong score so you could move away in the leaderboard, wasn't it?
Tenner? You told me 20.
Don't believe anything that Richy said.
That's the Irish connection feed, isn't it?
Exactly, that's it. The Premier connection.
Okay, lads, I'm going to give you my predictions. So the first one, Wolves Leeds. I'm going to go for. Sorry, Sam. Sam's listening to this one. A Wolves fan is a draw.
Oh.
Draw on this one for me. What do you think, Richy?
I'd go with score draw as well, 1-1. I'd
actually go for Wolves. I just think Leeds are just too inconsistent. They could beat them 4-0, or they could lose by the same score.
Sam's going to like you, Ger. He's nodding. The next one is Southampton Chelsea. I'm going Chelsea here.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Next Chelsea. One is Burnley West Brom. After I've seen Burnley tonight, I'm going to go Burnley from that one.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I'd agree with Daz.
I'm going to be controversial and say a draw.
A draw. Okay, next one, Ger. Big one for you. Liverpool, Everton. I'm going to go Liverpool, Ger.
I'm going to go with a draw. I just think Everton, they've got a better squad than they've ever had. They've got a top quality manager, and they're meeting us at the right time. But hopefully I'm wrong. I'd love to see Liverpool win, but I think a draw would be nice for us just to steady the ship and kind of then move on.
I think this is quite a tough one, actually, because I think before last night's performance against Leipzig, I'd have probably went for the draw. Do you know what? I think I'll stay with the draw. I just think the centre half, obviously with Kabak coming, he's still a bit unknown with the relationship with these. And Everton have got the forward line they've got. Is Calvert-Lewin going to be back for that game? Do we know? No,
I haven't heard anything. Yeah.
No idea, but we have to move on, lads. I'm sorry.
That was smooth, the segue.
The next one is Fulham, Sheffield United. I'm going to go Fulham.
Yeah,
they're on fire. I'd love to see Sheffield United win this one, but
I think losing Fulham. John Egan, I think that's the end of Sheffield United. Like they just can't get a run going. Like they can beat United and then just it disappears. Like the only thing is they're not the worst team now. They've gone. I think the points total is higher than Derby counties, but yeah. So I'm Fulham.
I hate to say it, but Fulham as well.
Yeah,
Fulham as well. Okay, next one is West Ham Spurs. I'm going Spurs.
Go on, Jared. You go on.
I was going to say a draw. I just don't see Spurs seem to be in a rut now. But it's hard to call.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to go for the draw, but I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham won.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is Villa and Leicester. I'm going Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester.
Yeah. Next one is Arsenal Man City. I'm going Man City.
Man City.
Yeah. City.
Big one here. Man United Newcastle. I'm saying reluctantly Man United.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I for obvious reasons I love to see Newcastle, but I think it's United.
You mean Newcastle United, Ger?
Yes.
Okay.
For Aidan Williams-Smith, Newcastle United.
Okay, next one is Brighton Crystal Palace, and I'm saying a draw here.
Yeah,
draw as well.
Draw, and the last one Leeds Southampton.
Draw as well, I think.
Yeah.
So the draw, yeah. Draw across the board. Okay, let me get rid of the fixtures. Let me put my banner back on again. Let me just check this. Any nice comments apart from all Martin's comments? Oh, yes, this is why he's not here.
At least his fingers work still, eh?
Yeah, there's people just fighting with him in the comments as well. Very good. That's the comments coming through. So next up, and let us welcome. Actually, I'm just going to give one shout out first. Is Martin actually did do a bit of work this week, and believe it or not, we're going to have a sponsor in March at least, maybe April as well. And no, it's not Nike, it's not Puma. I don't think it's Adidas either, but it's a group called Mind, Body and Soul, and I have no details about them really. Martin told me about them, but I cannot remember. So I'm going to do a disservice if I started talking about them now. Martin can pop a little comment in, and I'll put it up on screen. But next week Martin will be back, and he'll tell you all about them. So and thanks guys for coming on as a sponsor. So next up now is we going to go to get my banner. It is Loaded Tune, and this is where we welcome Sam on board. So here we go. Sam, welcome.
Hiya guys, how are you?
Evening, Sam.
Evening.
It's a different lineup this week. It took me a while to get my head around it.
Yeah.
It's like I've turned up to the. I don't want to call you the reserve squad, but I don't know.
We are very much.
Some people in the comments will really like that statement, Sam, and others won't. But no, actually, just you might have missed the start. Both Martin and Chris are actually sick today. So we there was talk of us, they wanted to cancel the show. I said, no, the show must go on. So I drafted in a few of the lads here to come help me out today. So you're stuck with us, I'm afraid, Sam.
Hey, no, it's sounding really good. Yeah,
better?
been really enjoying it.
Cool. Cheers, Sam. So Sam, you play a bit of music,
I
and
try. I have a go. I have a dabble.
Good, very good. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. See, Martin usually does this bit, so I'm going to make up some questions here. So I know you have a few songs that I have loaded in the system, ready to play, and I'll play them as we go through the show. But and I know from looking at a few pictures of you as well, you've been playing music for a while, and you've been in a number of bands.
I have, yes, I have. I started over 10 years ago. When I was still at school, I had a band called the Monobloggers, because I was writing blogs on, oh god, these hairstyles. You know, the worst thing is the best look is my current look, and that says something. I don't know what I was thinking with the top one. I think I lost a bet on that one. The second one, I look like Kevin Peterson's ill brother.
So that's Monobloggers, the group where you're all holding the guitars.
Yeah, that's that.
Cool.
You can kind of tell, can't you? It was the first band, teenagers with that horrible pose, and that awful look I've got on there, that t-shirt and those jeans and stuff. I mean, it's a bit of a risque pose from me, that is, isn't it? I'm surprised my jeans didn't. But yeah,
sorry, and the top one then is it Quinn?
Is Quinn? Yeah, the top one was Quinn. So yeah, I had about 3 years in Monobloggers, 3 years in Quinn. Kind of different sound. Quinn was like a bit grungy, a bit more distorted, you know, a bit more like Nirvana style. Monobloggers was more Britpoppy, Oasis, Ocean Colour Scene, that kind of sound. And then now I'm a free agent, really. No band to put up with me, so I've gone on my own.
Do you play up front, Sam?
Do I play? Oh God, no.
We could do with a striker at Newcastle if you fancy doing a free agent.
I always used to say, actually, I was a bit of a. This isn't Cockney rhyming slang, but I always used to say I was a bit of a Stephen Hunt, really. You know, I'd just kind of be a pest running up and down.
Cool. So as well as playing a bit of music, Sam, you're also a Wolves fan.
Yes.
So I got a little picture of the different crests the Wolves. I was surprised actually they had so many crests in the last while. Because I think I remember the one from 1996 to 2002. But yeah, they've changed it slightly through the years. But what do you make of them this season? When they got promoted, they were flying. They were in Europe then, and they had Espírito Santo had them, and all the Portuguese lads they brought in. They were really flying it. So what happened this season?
Well, I think most of us fans were realistic. I think we all knew it was unlikely that we would get into Europe again a third time running, because there was that sense of, you know, there was a lot of momentum from coming up from the Championship. A lot of teams hadn't kind of figured us out at that point. And we had overachieved, really. You know, we had a small squad. We'd done really well. You know, the fitness guys and the sports science guys at Wolves are incredible when you read up about what they do. But also, we were quite lucky with injuries at the same time. And I think just this season, I certainly didn't expect us to be challenging for Europe again. But obviously, losing Jimenez, that was a real hammer blow.
Awesome.
And I think that it just shows how dependent we were on him. And hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Because at the start of the season, we sold Jota to Liverpool, and a lot of us Wolves fans. We were upset because he'd been an integral part of our squad from the Championship days, but he hadn't been firing on all cylinders anyway. And Daniel Podence and Pedro Neto were coming in, so I was sad, but I wasn't devastated when Jota went. But obviously, once Jimenez got injured, you know, the second amount of goals the season before came from Jota. So all of a sudden, you've got no Jimenez, no Jota, and I think not only that, it was always going to be a transitional season. Nuno brought in a lot of these young players, apart from, obviously, we had Marcel and Semedo, who were a bit more proven.
Yeah.
But other than that, we signed Silva, we signed Vitinha, I can never say his name, Vitinha, Ait Nouri, loads of young players with a lot of potential, but how many young players hit the ground running first season? It's not often, is it? So I think we always knew it was going to be a bit of a difficult one. It was never going to be as good as the seasons before. But yeah, it's been frustrating, definitely. Some of the games, it's just there's been no focal point in attack. No dynamism up front. It's been a bit stop-start because Podence has been injured a lot. Then at the back, Willy Bolly's been out injured. It's just been a bit inconsistent. It's been a bit fragmented. So it's been quite frustrating. But I'd like to think now we've turned a corner a little bit because we were lucky against Arsenal. Obviously, I don't know if you guys saw the game, but if it wasn't for the sending off,
the two senders off, the two
sendings off. We had the penalty, we had the wonder strike from Moutinho, so we were lucky. But we got the win. Then we got another win against Southampton. Absolutely dire in the first half. We were terrible, but then the second half we looked like the Wolves of old again. We were attacking. There was purpose. So we've had 7 points from our last 3 games now, and all of a sudden, maybe finishing 9th or 10th, which is kind of where I thought we would be at the start of the season. That doesn't seem as crazy now. Whereas a couple of weeks ago, I mean, some Wolves fans were talking about relegation, so
yeah, and that's where there was a bit of a danger there in the last one, but I think you're going to finish just about 10th or the top 10. There's a lot of big teams in that top 10 really. It's fairly bunched, but I think Wolves are going to be safe. They're not going to be in that dogfight like us Newcastle fans.
What you make of Ruben Neves? Like, he's always been a player I've really liked just from midfield.
I mean, in the champion. I mean, he's been amazing, obviously, and I went to quite a few games when we were in the Championship that season, and it was just a cut above. I mean, I'd seen some players at Wolves in my time that it was awful to watch, But so to see someone of Ruben Neves' caliber, it was incredible. I kind of feel he's plateaued a bit now because obviously at the time when he was in the Championship in that first season in the Prem, there was so much talk of this is just a springboard for him and Man United will come in or Real Madrid will come in or what have you. I kind of feel that's died down a little bit now. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's just evened out. I still feel, obviously, he's an integral part. But again, the past few weeks, Neves hasn't really been up to it that much. I mean, we rely on him a lot for his amazing free kicks. But there's been quite a few times in the past few games where he's just gone straight into the wall. But again, he's a fantastic player. I think maybe this season, just every Wolves player at some point has been off the ball for whatever reason. I guess the fans not being there as well, that plays a part too.
I think that's massive. Like, I don't think people are giving enough credit to the fact that there's not a fan base there. I think Germany, they found last year, like, there was a few clubs who were down the bottom and they had a load of home games, and the statistics were showing that home advantage was no longer there, and a few clubs got relegated that no one would have expected to. Whereas if they're playing at home in front of 60,000 fans, there would be no issue.
Well, I think that part of me thinks that's why Sheffield United have struggled so much this season.
Yeah. Lads, I'm going to take a break from the chat for a second because I'm going to play the first of Sam's songs.
Did you have to?
I thought we were here to try and help you and try to promote your song, and everyone buy Sam's single, and when COVID is over, go to see Sam in concert. But we can talk football. I want to play the songs. I like your songs, so I want to play them. So I'm going to play the first one. I'll have you introduce the when love ain't enough. Go for that one, Sam.
Okay, this was the first solo release. It came out in November, and it's called When Love Ain't Enough.
Here we go.
Come on, too strong again, from a lover back to a friend. I just want this pain to end. It's getting harder to pretend that I'm hurting. Yeah, guess what, baby, I'm hurting. And all this pain, well, I've earned it. Yet I don't think I deserve it. When love ain't enough, feel it coursing through my veins. When love ain't enough, no, I'll never, never be the same. Things didn't quite go as planned. Started life as the other man, competing just to hold your hand. Ended up in no man's land, and I'm hurting. Yeah, guess what, baby, I'm hurting. And all this pain, well, I've earned it. Yet I don't think I deserve it. Deserve it. When love ain't enough, feel it coursing through my veins. When love ain't enough, no, I'll never, never be the same. When love ain't enough. When love ain't enough, when love ain't enough, yeah, too strong again, from a lover back to a friend.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. You know, that was my attempt at an Irish accent when the dog says "Thank Christ." That's why I started like that. And I remember I sent it to my friend, and I said to him, "Can you just have a look over this video for me, just to make sure you think it's all right?" And he said to me, "It's good, but," he says, "there's such a bad spelling error at the end when you meant to write Jesus Christ."
And of course, the star of the show is Henry.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah.
And I saw. People keep forgetting that while the videos are playing, I can see what people are doing. Last week,
I remembered.
Yeah, do you remember? Yeah.
Because the Moonlight Parade, they put a mask on, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. When Steve put a mask on, I was like, "What's going on here?" And I had to take a picture and send it to the lads. So they thought I was actually changing his appearance, and I was like, "Why would I do something like that?" I can't do that actually anyway. But no, I love that one, Sam. So you know what, guys? I think it's time to move to the quiz. So let me get usually we have Chris doing the quiz with us, but today we have. Yeah, I know. Actually, first of all, we'll give you the option, Sam. Okay, so you can handle yourself with the Wolves questions, right? But there's a few general knowledge questions in there as well. So I'll give you the option, because Moonlight Parade had two heads to work with there. So you can have the option of taking Ger on board with the quiz.
I wouldn't personally.
you have. You can give the final answer, but Ger, you can consult with Ger. How about that?
Yeah, okay. We'll do that. Yeah. So this is a bit. Yeah, it's a bit like that show, The Wheel, then, isn't it? So you're kind of the main guy that I can turn to in there.
Are you sure? 100%.
Okay, sure. Richy, are you ready?
I am, mate. Yes.
Go for it.
Loaded quiz.
Perfect. Way better than Chris. That Liverpool accent. He actually puts that accent on. Believe it or not, he puts it on. So let me just bring up the leaderboard just to refresh your memory. We have Moonlight Parade at 12 points, an amazing score last week. We have Jace Campbell and we have Phil. So Sam, you're yet to play, so we'll see where you're going to fare out in this on that leaderboard. So over to you, Richy.
Okay, question 1. What colour do you get if you mix orange and black?
Oh God, this is a bad start, isn't it? Orange and black. Gold.
I was going to say purple, but go gold.
Wolves captain Conor Cody started his professional football career with which club?
Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah.
What is the largest country in the world?
Russia.
Russia, yeah.
What do the letters HE stand for on the periodic table?
Helium, is it?
Yes, I'll go for that. Yes. Yes,
Yes, see?
I'm sure he was only meant to be waiting to get asked for this, wasn't he?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but what you don't realise is I texted him and said, "Is it he?"
I'm going to text you all the time.
The delay, we missed that delay, yeah.
Right, the 2 points for this question, Sam. At the start of this month, Wolves recorded a 2-1 win against 9 men of Arsenal. But can you name who scored the 2 goals for Wolves and the 2 players that were sent off for Arsenal?
Yeah, so the 2 goals for Wolves was Ruben Neves and João Moutinho. And the 2 players that were sent off for Arsenal were David Luiz and the goalkeeper whose name escapes me.
Bernd Leno.
Yes, that's it. Yes. I knew it was the keeper. I couldn't bloody remember his name.
Okay, the music one for you. Which reggae/pop band from Birmingham were named after an unemployment benefit government form?
It's got to be UB40, surely. There's only one reggae band from Birmingham.
In which year were Wolves founded?
1877.
What is a baby wolf called?
A baby wolf is, I'm guessing it's a cub. Is it a cub?
Yeah, cub, yeah. I think so.
I'll tell you the answer at the end. The Spanish beast, that is Adama Traore, wears which number shirt for Wolves?
37. I hope. I'm sure Sorry, carry on.
It's all right, no bother. Which West Midlands band had a hit with Stairway to Heaven in 1971?
Led Zeppelin.
In tennis, which of the Williams sisters has won the most Grand Slams?
I'm going to say Serena.
No idea.
Which artist had her first UK #1 in 2017 with the song New Rules?
I need my sister here. She's 12 and she likes.
Well, you've only got Gerard, so.
I'm equally lost. Sorry.
New Roads. I'm gonna go for Lord, but I'm probably so wrong there.
Where was Love in the 1994 hit by Wet Wet Wet?
All around.
In 2017-18, Wolves were promoted to the Premier League and finished top of the EFL Championship. Who came second and went up automatically with them that season?
Oh God. Let me think. It was Norwich. Oh, I might be wrong actually.
Okay,
they always carry on. Sorry.
I've got to take your first answer.
Yes, yeah.
You're tough, Richy. Jeez.
That's the whole point. Take your first answer.
I prefer the other guy.
Did he give you the answer as well? Right. Your bonus question, Sam, is worth 2 points. What percentage of our bodies is made up of water?
What percentage?
You've got it. As long as you say a number between the 2 marks that I've got down on the paper, you'll get the answer correct.
No help here, Ger. You're probably googling it.
I'm gonna say 70%.
Yeah, I'd say around it.
You know, can I tell you something?
Go on.
Can you swear on this?
course
You
you
can,
can.
of course.
Well, it's after 9 o'clock.
It's nothing. It's not a bad word, but I always remember I was in the gym before, and this dad was with his son, and they'd just been swimming, and I'm guessing he must have been going through a rough divorce from the mother of the child, because the child said to the dad, he was like, "Dad, do you know that the body is made up of 70% water?" And then the dad turned to him and he says, "Yeah, apart from your mother's, which is full of shit."
I'd like to apologise. We've had to remove Sam Lambeth from the show for the language. I apologise to anyone that's been offended by this comment. Oh, maybe we'll let him back in. Okay, lads. Actually, no, Richie. I'll let you go through the answers first. I was going to jump to the comments.
I'll just go to the ones you got wrong just to save on time. The colour of orange and black is brown. Question 8, what is a baby wolf called? It's a pup.
Oh.
Question 12, the artist who had a #1 with new rules was Dua Lipa. And the team that came up with wolves was Cardiff.
Oh, shit.
So overall, which I think is fantastic, bear in mind you were doing it solo, it was 11.
11. And what about the
11.
bonus question?
The bonus question, he didn't get the answer right, but he wasn't far off. The answer is between 60 and 65%.
And I said 70, didn't I?
Yeah. So you were, to be fair, it
Close.
was a good shout, though. I think you should blame that kid for telling his dad how much
Yeah.
It's all his fault.
Yeah.
The feedback on the song as well, Sam. So
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm getting some abuse. I know it's good abuse from Julie, changing the rules. Tom is shouting out he loves the quiz.
It's good, man. I really enjoyed it, to be fair.
And yeah, Julie's trying to help you, but I can't be putting up the answers on the screen, Julie. When Sam is, he's already got help from our quizman, our expert there, Ger.
I would say he's been hindered more than helped, but I'll take that.
Now, guys, I
think
think
a couple of goals, Dad. If you want some goals while we're having a quick break update.
Yeah, go for it. I'll flash it up once. My goal sign, Richie, and then you can tell us about them. Yeah,
Man City are now 2-1 up against Everton. Juventus have pulled a goal back against Porto, so it's now 2-1. There's only a couple of minutes left there. And Sevilla have also pulled one back against Dortmund. That's now 3-2 to Dortmund with it into stoppage time.
Great. Perfect. Thanks, Richie. And just to confirm, it was 11 for Sam on the quiz.
Yeah, 11. Very respectful score.
Oh, you'll slot in there to second spot.
I'll take that. I'm happy with that, to be fair.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. We'll get you back again anyway to have a run at it again, Sam. Don't worry. Now, Sam, you have the option here. You can stay with us as we go through the last 20 minutes of the show or so. Or if you want to nip off, you've had enough of us, you can leave. Up to you.
I'm happy to stay if you're happy to have me.
Cool, great, and we get you to introduce your current song as we see out the show. That's perfect, great. So we'll move on to the next section, which is called Loaded 11. So anyone that would have seen this before is we give a couple of options for different positions in our, let's say, for a 4-4-2 formation, and we put the options up on. We plead our case first for who should make the team, then we put those options up on Twitter, and we run a poll, and people could get to vote. So this week we're voting on left back. And here's the result of the poll. So last week I think we got 188 votes. This week we got 310 votes. The clear winner here was Maldini. My pick, I think, Maldini. And just rub that in. Roberto Carlos got 26%. Ashley Cole, that was Chris's pick, got 14%. And yeah, we put Dennis Irwin in there. So actually, I never said it at the start. If there's anyone, we're going to do right back position today. So if anyone has a suggestion, my fault, I should have said at the start. If anyone has any suggestions for a right back, let us know now. Put it in the comments, and we put it up on screen. So here's Maldini, our champion for left back this week, and there's him slotting into our dream team. He joins Buffon. Goal. Where's the goal, Richie?
Man City are now 3-1 up.
3-1 up. That means our loaded leaderboard is going to be all 24 points if the way it's going. And thanks, Tom, actually, for letting us know as well. Cheers to that, Tom. So, so who is going to go first? Actually, I think it's you, Richy, that's going to go first, isn't it? For your left back suggestion.
Apparently, luckily I've been given Chris's recommendation. And because obviously we're pushed for time, we're just going to go with this player. And I think when I go through all the facts, you'll understand why. And I know Daz and Gerard know exactly why I'm saying that. But we'll still do the formalities if you want, though, lads. Okay,
go for it. And Sam, you think of a right back as well who you could suggest as well. So
I've got one already in my mind. So
okay. Let's go for yours first. Just out of curiosity, is it one of the three we've picked?
I was actually going to pick the great Brazilian Cafu.
I like that one. I like that one, Sam. I'll tell you why.
Seriously enough.
Okay, Richy, talk us through your selection.
It's Dani Alves. He started his career at Bayern, but he spent the majority of his fantastic career in Europe with Sevilla, Barca, Juve, and PSG. And he's actually still playing at the age of 37 for Sao Paulo back in Brazil. Now, one of the reasons why you've got to choose Dani Alves is because he's the most decorated player of all time with 43 trophies, which you can see the majority in front of you. So just to round up those honours, international honours with Brazil, he's won the Copa America twice, the Confederations Cup twice. The only thing to ever elude as a major trophy is the actual World Cup, which is a surprise. Bear in mind how good the Brazil squads have been while he's been playing for them. Then you get onto his club honours, and it's just, there's nobody can touch them, basically. He's won the Champions League 3 times with Barca. He's won the UEFA Cup twice with Sevilla. He's won the UEFA Super Cup 4 times with Barca and Sevilla. And he's won the Club World Cup 3 times with Barca. So that's his major European winners' medals that he's got. Then you go to his domestic winnings that he's had with the clubs. With Barca and Sevilla in Spain, the Spanish honours are the Liga 6 times, the Copa del Rey 5 times, the Super Copa, which is the equivalent to the Champions League, the Charity Shield, should I say, as we would call it, 5 times. Then in one season at Juve, he did the double and got Serie A and Coppa Italia. He then went on to PSG, where he won the Ligue 1 title twice, the Coupe de France, the Coupe de la Ligue, and the French Charity Shield twice. So that's his honours. But then he actually has 3 individual records as well. So he's joint second most decorated player in European history. Now, there's actually going to be a little bit of a link to something that from last week's winner. He's joint second with Maldini. He's also the most UEFA Super Cup appearances joint with Paolo Maldini.
You're really milking this, Richy. Go on.
I'm just putting out your misery, that's all. And finally, to round it up for you, he's also got the most UEFA Super Cup wins, and you guessed it, tied with Paolo Maldini.
So you're saying there'd be a nice balance there in left and right wing. I think I should try to say.
Well, basically, yeah.
Okay, Richy.
Stop kicking him. He's already dead.
Yeah. Look at Richy. I'm going to move on. It's getting bright again outside.
Yeah, I've actually released my second album.
And we have it loaded in the system. Whatever you're going through that, Richy. Okay, I'm going to agree with Sam. And for me, it's forget about all those Mickey Mouse competitions, club competitions. It's all about the World Cup. Yes, it is Marcos Evangelista de Marcos, or Cafu as he's otherwise known. 142 caps for Brazil, 5 goals, most capped Brazilian ever. Take that, Alves. Represented Brazil at 4 World Cups. And he's actually won 2 of them. Brazil aren't really known for their solid defense, really, are they? He's appeared in 3 World Cup finals. the final itself. He's, as I mentioned, he's a double winner. He's represented Brazil at 4 Copa Americas and won it twice. He's played for clubs in Brazil, Spain, and Italy. The most notable being São Paulo, Roma, and AC Milan. He's known for his pace. He's energetic attacking runs, tactical intelligence, distribution, and tactical skills. However, as well as his football ability, he is known for his discipline, his leadership, and most important, what you need in a right back, his cheerful demeanour. And that alone should get him in the squad. Richy, take your honours. That's Cafu. And Sam agrees with me. Sam is going to vote. That's 2 votes already. Ger, over to you. Who have you got first?
I didn't realize the full panel, and I'm in the back foot now. But I picked Martin.
Right, that's what I hear.
You're lucky you didn't let me pick, because it could have been a mix of Jason McAteer or Steve Finnan from Liverpool. But on that team, it's Phil Neal. Now the challenge of this one is this man's an absolute legend at Liverpool. His career essentially only began he joined from Northampton at the age of 23, played 11 years during the height of the great Liverpool team of the 70s and 80s. The trophy hall, I could go through them all, but unfortunately we don't have time. But what I can say is, unlike Alves, he won the Champions League 4 times, where Alves only won it 3 times. But one of the most incredible stats with this man is he is 7th on the all-time playing list for Liverpool, where he's it's like 700 plus appearances. But he played 417 games consecutively. And he only missed the next game because of a minor injury picked up against Man United. It's incredible in those times when you think of the pitches and the kind of players lunging at you. And this guy also went to 1 World Cup in 1982, played 50 times for his country. He has a trophy-laden career. Unfortunately, I had a list of them and I was going to read them all out, but kind of Richy kind of blew that bubble right off.
He won a lot.
He won 1 more Champions League.
Cool. So that's Phil Neal. Thanks, Ger. Yeah. Thanks for that.
And he was nicknamed Zico, so there is a Brazilian connection.
There's 3 Brazilians already in there. Take your pick. So I'll put that up on Twitter and people can vote. I didn't see many suggestions coming through on the chat, but if we have another selection, we'll put it in. If not, we'll go with those 3. Let me see. So I suppose now I'll just move to what's happening next week. So this is what's coming up next week. So next week we're going to be back as well with hopefully Martin and Chris make a swift recovery and they're back as well. So we have another bit of loaded headlines, loaded leaderboard. Our guests next week are the Johnny Ash Band. We'll have the loaded quiz. We'll have the loaded 11 again. We'll probably focus on the center of defense next week. People can follow us on Twitter at Loaded Football. I set up an Instagram account there this week as well. So it's called Loaded Football HQ, and you can follow us on that. There's not an awful lot on it, but I'm just still actually trying to figure out how to use Instagram. I had one, but I've never really used it before. And we're operating on Steve Wraith's in UFC Matters channel. We also have our own YouTube channel created where we kind of just kind of copy over the material onto our channel, but we will be going live to our own channel in over the next couple of weeks. So that's really what's coming next week. So I want to thank Richy for coming on at short notice as well today, and he's new. He's a regular in UFC Matters panel. Ger, your first time with us on screen. Thanks for coming as well again for short notice. And Sam, thanks for coming on and taking the quiz, having a bit of chat. Hopefully Wolves get that 10th spot. Hopefully we hope to play you again in the Premier League next year. So Sam, I'm going to hand it over. Actually, do you want to say anything, Richy, before we leave it?
No, just thanks for having us. I really enjoyed being on the show.
Cool, great.
Yeah, cheers.
Pleasure.
Thanks for having me on, guys. It's been real fun. I've really enjoyed it. I knew I would, but it's been a great laugh and fair play to you guys, because I think there was a real need for this kind of show, and from an unsigned musician perspective, there's so many of us that love football and love Soccer AM and shows like that. So to get the chance to come on to something in that mold has been great. So thanks so much, and obviously Henry as well.
He took his time. He just stayed in the limelight at the end.
Yeah.
thanks a million, Sam, for coming on. And apologies from the lads. They really wanted to meet you as well, but what can they do? They're sick, or they're pretending they're sick. Yeah, but no, they're sick. They are really sick. But Sam, I'm going to hand it over to you. Thanks for everyone for watching on playback. I'm going to hand it over to you for your current single, Sam.
Yes.
Give it a lash.
This is The King, You and Me.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
To you and me, what did I do to deserve this town? How uneasy lies the crown? How good it feel to be the king? Try to speed on rims for tires, hold the roofs like a bird on a wire, and yet I pass it off like no big thing. Change is good, but I'm happy with my past, and all I ever wanna know is whatever happened, whatever happened, whatever happened to you and me, whatever happened. Times of old, and all I ever want